Hey guys, well, anytime we get a new package around the shop, it is reason to be excited. It is always fun to get mail, and this one is no exception. I think you guys will like what we have, and we will show you what that is right after this. Hey guys, Alex here with All For Him Racing, and today we are opening a new package that just arrived in the mail, and I am excited about this one. This is a purchase that we've been putting off for the last couple years, partially because of pricing and just partially because we didn't want to make the leap to this particular product. However, after difficulties this past season, it is time to upgrade, and I think you guys will like what we have in here. So let's go ahead and get this box open, and I'll show you guys what we just bought. Alright, so let's show you guys what we got. We have our new cable shifter. That's right, we finally upgraded to a cable shifter, getting away from the standard cut a hole in the floor and put a direct pole right onto the transmission. If you guys recall from previous videos from last season, we had issues with this stuff breaking on us, and it was just unfortunate. We were having to reach through the floor and make modifications to the shifter in order to make it work in the heat. It got so bad to the point where I went to put the truck in reverse and it couldn't get into reverse. It was only going back into neutral. And so I ended up having to break my shifter apart so that way I was able to get it into reverse and be able to keep making hits. So we are solving that issue this year by upgrading to a nice cable shifter. This one is from Lemont Customz, and they make some good products. I thought they had a really nice durable look to them. And if you guys recall, our transmission of choice is a Ford C6. So the reason being, we run a small block Ford instead of the standard 350 that most guys will run in derby cars. And so what that caused was needing a Ford shifter to match with our Ford transmission. So these guys, they made one for the C6, and it looks like it should bolt right up from the pictures, and it's just a good solid looking product. It has the park lockout, so you can easily pull this guy back and drop it into park. And then obviously we got our normal movement of gears forward and back, and I think once it's all bolted solid, this ought to be really good. It's also got a nice long cable to it, it looks like, and you know, he's got it all bound together in some hardware for mounting. So definitely going to be working to get this thing mounted up here in just a minute. But there you go, there's the unboxing as it arrived to us, and so we are excited to finally have a cable shifter and be able to use it. I will provide a link in the description below, right below this video, to these guys on Facebook. Make sure to check them out and give them a shout out. If you guys go and want to ask some questions or buy some of their product, make sure to say All For Him Racing sent you, just so that way he knows that you guys came from watching our video and that we drove you guys there. That would just be cool. I think he would appreciate that too. And you know, show him some love. So some good looking product here. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing mounted up, and then hopefully it'll be good to go come the derby here in about a week. So I will stop talking and let's go ahead and get this thing mounted up. So here we go, guys. We got it mounted and it is in place and working. So we had the bar coming off our roll cage already, and that was just there temporarily in order to mount this. So it comes with 3 holes in the base plate, so we just lined it up where we wanted it, used some clamps, and then drilled the holes, put the bolts in, obviously, you know, and then now we're mounted. Depending on your vehicle, you can figure out what routing works best for your cable. Due to the nature of this truck, I chose to orient it so the shifter lever was in front of the mount here. You could mount it the other way, but I wanted it so that way you pull it back, it's in reverse, you push it forward, it's in the drive. That's just the way this transmission works, so that's how we had it mounted. Obviously you could flip it 180 degrees if you wanted it so the handle was back, and then you know, just get used to using it however which way you need to. Also, just routing of the cable in general, we ended up routing it underneath the seat. So I took it, went under right, between the two seats here. We went underneath the seat, and then I'll show you a little bit of view. We cut a hole in the floor and ran the cable right out through there. We're probably going to wrap that with some rubber hose just for some extra protection, against cutting and anything else that might happen during the heat. So we're going to do that as well. But for now, that cable just runs through. And again, it's just mounted farther back than there was another shifter hole for the transfer case in this particular truck. So we went ahead and patched that, moved the hole farther back to get a much better alignment. Now I'm going to go underneath the truck and then show you what it looks like underneath. So here it is, all mounted up. You can see there's the bracket, there's the lever arm, and it just extends out and is firmly bolted. Comes with a couple nuts that we used as spacers between the mounting plate and the pan. That just keeps us from, crinkling those ends of the pan that you can see sticking down that skirt. It is pretty easy to adjust, so the way that you do this is I mounted my handle first up top, ran it underneath, I put the shifting lever into reverse, and then I put the transmission into reverse, and then just line this all up accordingly. So I actually needed to extend it out a little bit farther from where the bracket was set for when it arrived, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And I screwed the end piece in about as far as I could in, just so that way it's not sticking out too far on those threads, and we have good engagement there. And it is working nice and smooth. Let me go ahead and show you the hole from down below. You can just see here, you just follow the cable and then it just goes right up and through the floor there. One thing to keep in mind is you want to keep this cable as straight as you can. So you definitely want to put the hole in an appropriate location so that way you get a good smooth transition down to the transmission here. And you also want to make sure that it's not twisted. So when we got this all down here, and before we tighten these nuts, we just made sure that that cable was not twisted. It can become twisted when you're just orienting it and moving it through the floor. So you want to make sure that it's not twisted and it's as straight as you can. Just allows everything to work better. Gets rid of a lot of resistance in the line. So there you go. That is how it mounts underneath. Just a quick demonstration of operation. Right now we have the pin here for the park lockout. So this is the reverse location. You give it a bump forward, and now we're into neutral, and push it one more. Now we are in drive. And then of course if you wanted to go farther, you have your second and first or whatever gears you might have. So that is in reverse, neutral, drive. And then you can just pull this guy out, and then that allows you to then put the vehicle into park. So there you go, guys. That is our new cable shifter from Lemont Customz. Be sure to follow the link in the description to check those guys out. This is just the cable shifter they make. They also make some other products as well. So make sure to check those guys out. Show them some love and let them know that All For Him Racing sent you. So if you guys like the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you have not already done so. And until the next video, we'll talk to you later, guys.